What's up, tricksters and tricksetas, and welcome to another Tier 3 sub VOD review presented by our favorite coach, CHARLATAN. Today, at our coaching table, we have our friend Milo. He is or she, Omen main, playing on Fracture in a Silver 3 elo. Not really Silver 3, like it's like Silver Gold, but you know, he is Silver 3 peak player. Let's see what he or she had to say to us, and basically, you know, let's see what he can do better. Hey Papito, I've been watching your videos for a long time now, and I finally decided to buy something to increase my improvement. I haven't played the game for that long, and last act I was only Bronze 3, and now I peaked Silver 3. My goal is to definitely reach high elo and be the best version of myself that I can be on Valorant. I feel like I struggle a lot, my mid-rounding and decision-making during rounds. Normal for a, you know, like, silver player. I also feel like I have significant issues with my gunplay, but I've been improving it. And because of this, I feel like I take a lot of risky fights that I don't need to take. Every day for the past 2 months, I've been doing the OFA aim training routine, and when I had the time, I would try and watch the playbook. Very good. I basically only ever play Omen, and don't touch any other agent unless someone insta-lock before me. I've definitely tried to spread out, and try new agent like Chamber and Valet, but I never play them in ranked. Listen, like Valet for such a low skill level, you know, low elo, is not really the best option. Like Valet requires a lot of awareness, a lot of like team play as well to some degree, and basically like making Valet work in low elo is possible. Obviously, she's S tier in low elo as well. Obviously, just that. It's way too complicated agent with less structure for low elo lobbies. You know, like basically, for an example, if you already want to try some kind of a dive duelist in low elo, something like Jet and Raze would be far better options. Because, you know, with Raze, like, even if you have shit utility usage, you can still get away with some damage, with some kills, with some pressure. With Jet, like, all you have to do is, like, you know, develop a feeling for timing, when to activate a dash ability, and you can get away with 3 kills, dash into the enemy's face, fuck them up with the shotguns, and all of that good stuff. So, you know, instead of trying Valet, maybe you can incorporate, like, Jet in this triangle, love triangle that you have here. Like Omen, Chamber, and Jet, you know, you don't need anything else to get out into Ascendant and above. Now, Fracture is one of the new maps in the pool, and it will certainly take time for me to get used to. But I'm hoping this VOD review can help me with my in-game problems and how I will continue to play this map and others in the future. Okay, a few questions I have here. How can I get a better feeling with timings in the game? Okay, so the answer to that question is very simple. You just play the shitons of Valorant. Like, that's, you know, that's the most basic and simple answer I can give you. Now, what's really important, like to develop a better feeling for timings, is that you're conscious while you're playing the games. You know, like while you're playing a match, you're tracking the exact timings of when you should do something. So one thing that you can do, you know, one thing that can help you with timings is just improving your general game knowledge. You know, for an example, like understanding, like, you know, you play a match of Valorant. You play a match of Valorant and you sit back and you review that match a bit from the third-person perspective. And you're just observing the situations where you died based on timing. You know, like you're observing, like, when does the Raze go for an execute? When does the Omen does the smokes? Like, when does the enemy, like, breach uses a flash? When you start in a certain position, how much time enemies need to get on the opposite spot or to engage you in that area of the map. Like, you don't need to go too deep into this problem when you're a low elo player. You know, like basically, below Ascendant 1, you don't need to focus on actually, you know, doing self-reflection a lot, or like focusing on every single timing in the game. You know, like you can just focus on mainly improving your general game knowledge, just fundamentals and slightly above, and you will slowly like develop a better feeling for these type of timings. From Ascendant 1, like, there's certain trainings that I recommend to players, but I just feel that, you know, for a player that is silver, these type of trainings would be absolutely nonsense, because your knowledge is just not on a level where you can apply that those routines. What positions off angles can I abuse? Everything is covered in my rank playbook on Discord. Like, literally, in my rank playbook on Discord, I've explained every single off angle, every single common angle. How should you hold these angles? How should you position on these angles? Literally, there's not a single spot on any map in Valorant that I didn't cover in my playbook. Not a single spot. So, just watch, you know, every week, try to improve yourself on one map. Watch one map guides on the attackers and defenders side, and try to practice holding these positions and on that specific map. Yes, I know we don't have a map selection system in Valorant, which is kind of stupid in 2026, but still, you know, like, develop a playbook for yourself based on the documents that I'm gonna give you, and just, you know, just like for 7 days, when you get that specific map, like Fracture for an example, try to implement all of the tips and solutions that you, as best as you can, while you're playing that specific map. And then the next week you can move on to the second map, then the third map, fourth map, etc. How can I guarantee my improvement as fast as possible? I kind of covered this question completely inside of this video right here. Like, everything you need to rank up fast in Valorant. So just watch that video, and I've explained everything, you know, how to guarantee a fast self-improvement. What can I help with my solo? What can help with my solo carry impact? I don't know. We're gonna see in the VOD, you know, what you're liking the most, and I'll tell you. How can I win clutches more often? By understanding win conditions, you know, over with time. But this is not something that you don't that you need to concern yourself with at a silver level. Trust me. Like, we can answer these questions later once we get to Diamond and Ascendant. What can I do to improve my team play? We're gonna see in the VOD. What's your own advice on mental? When it comes to the mental advice, like, I have a specific document that I'm gonna share with you, where I completely explained, like, mentality in Valorant. You know, like, how to keep good mental, what is a good mental, what is a smart grind, and all of that is going to be shared with you. So, majority of these questions are going to be answered through the VOD review, and also through the private coaching videos that I'm going to share with you after this VOD review. You're going to get these private coaching videos, plus you're going to get maybe some kind of a training, if or an aim training routine, depending on the quality of the VOD. Like, I'm not God. You know, I'm just reviewing one VOD right now. I don't really know you on a personal level, so we'll see. Sensitivity 1600 DPI 0145. That's okay. You know, a bit lower sense, but fine. Lamzo my X, okay, fine. And keyboard, keyboard. Echo mod. Okay. Maybe check last act. Okay, we'll do that. When it comes to the tracker, our friend is like peak silver 3. When it comes to your playtime, it's pretty, you know, in the last 3x that you played, this is good when it comes to the playtime. You know, like 54, 72, 69 hours. That should be enough for you to see some decent improvements. You know, like, so maybe in this time, during these 3 acts, you could have went from bronze to gold, for an example. I mean, as long as you can play Valorant for at least like 60 hours, every single act, you should not be stuck. You know, like, so this is fine, and we're gonna see, like, what are you lacking exactly. And you did have a significant bump in your improvement in between, like, Act 6 and Act 1 of 25 and 26. Basically, you started, like, you know, taking more kills. Headshot percentage also improved. I guess the one-for-all aim training is actually working. Who would have guessed that? Who would have guessed that? And overall, not bad. Not bad. You know, it seems like you're moving in the right direction. Like, your stats are optimal. And basically, things are looking bright. Overall, when you see this type of a tracker, like, generally speaking, you're actually lacking... You ask the right questions. You know, what you're lacking in your gameplay is exactly what you asked me instead of these questions right here. So basically, you are dealing damage, you do exist in a game, you are taking some kills, I don't know which kills, but we'll see about that. But you have like very low impact. Like one huge problem for you, and with this tracker, is that you die way too many times alone. You know, like somehow you have like 114 KD, 147 ADR, which is more than enough to move away from silver all the way into platinum at this level. But your KST is still 71% only, and you're dying way too many times alone. Like, why are you playing alone so many times? Like, what you might struggle with, and what we're probably gonna see in the VOD, is that either you're picking some bad fights, or you're picking some fights that you don't need to fight at all. Or you can maybe fight them better, or maybe you can just wait for your teammates and fight with them, for an example. Generally speaking, whenever you're playing in low elo... Okay.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Fuck low elo. Fuck low elo. Generally speaking, in ranked solo queue of Valorant, Valorant community is very special. You know, I'm currently streaming on TikTok, so I cannot say the R word, brother. So, very special. And even if you kill 4 enemies, and then you die, your teammates can still lose a round, 4 versus 1, and troll the game and leave the match. So, basically, like, every round where you're not alive, and you're not controlling the outcome of your round, you could have done something better. Like, when you're playing ranked, you really need to have a mental checklist of what you should be doing, what is required from you, and what is necessary from you in a specific round, and what is absolutely pointless or unnecessary or way too risky to do, and you're just risking the outcome of your round. Because with these stats right here, you should have at least like I don't know, 55% win rate, like something like that, and you're at 46%. How? The answer is your solo carry impact is very low, and even though you're getting some kills, you're not getting the most important kills to actually close out the rounds and matches yourself. Like, you are not alive to be present to do that yourself. You need to be a bit more self-preserved. You don't need to take that many kills. You just need to win rounds and games. Like, kills mean nothing if you're not winning a match. Like, you can drop 30 kills. If you lose a match, you just lost the game, and that's it, basically. So, now when it comes to clutch percentage, yeah, I mean, you're right, like, it's pretty low. The problem with the clutch, you know, 1v1 and 1v2 clutches, they're extremely situational, and as you improve your situational awareness and knowledge, you just get better at 1v1 and 1v2 clutches. Like, how I improve, you know, like, clutch percentage for the players that I coach is through 24/7 support. Unfortunately, I cannot do that with you, and maybe I'm gonna give you some kind of a routine and an idea of how to get better there. But you know, in ranked solo queue, you really need to be capable of winning at least 60% of your 1v1 and 1v2 clutches, like 60%. And we'll see. Like, hopefully, you're gonna get in this VOD in some 1v1s and 1v2s, and I'll have a chance to explain at least some scenarios for you. When it comes to everything else, first bloods and first deaths, not good. I mean, like, they're kind of equal, but they should not be equal. Like, so we kind of struggle in these initial duels that we take, and I don't know why do you die first so many times. And we'll see what you can do better, what you can get better there. When it comes to the last deaths, that's also kind of horrible for this elo. Like, you need to be more alive. Like, I'm not telling you to bait your teammates. Like, you should never bait your teammates for nothing. You know, you should not let your teammates die for nothing. But you don't need to always be the first contact. You don't need to take every single fight in the game, and you don't need to fight 24/7, especially not alone. Like, there's a certain moment of time where you need to have a break and just be like, my job is done. I finished my 9 to 5 job. Go, my minions. I'm gonna refrag you and play with you. One of the biggest problems in ranked, in the ranks between Iron and Ascendant, is that you never truly know, like, if you peek an enemy, if your teammates are gonna refrag you. So it's usually better to let your teammates peek, because then you know that you will swing with them, and, you know, you will take a trade. You will save the life of your teammates, maybe. You will fight together with them. Like, that's a huge problem, especially in super low elo lobbies, like in between Iron 1 and Gold 3, where, like, you just never know what the fuck your teammates are gonna do. Like, literally, they might be super close to you. Maybe they're pussies. You know, you swing out, you die. You're expecting the guy to trade you. The guy is sitting in the corner waiting for you to die. So especially when you make a numbers advantage, you need to be a bit more like, okay, my teammate doesn't want to fight. I'm not going to fight as well. Let's wait here. Let's fight together in a different way. Now, when it comes to attacker side, okay. Defender side, much better in terms of the KD at least. But both on both attackers and defender side, like, you're outputting damage, you're taking the kills, but not the kills that actually matter. Or at least you're not converting these kills into a round win. Like, that's a huge problem for you. Like, you need to learn how to convert that advantage that you make and these skills that you take into, you know, won games, essentially, won rounds. When it comes to the main agents, as I already told you, sure, you can commit to playing Omen. You know, Omen is not the problem, trust me. Like, you're silver, like, you can learn the game quite a lot. And anyways, you know, once you master Omen in Valorant, every other agent is like burger nothing, essentially. The agents that I would advise you to try, like Chamber, if you enjoy playing Chamber, sure, you can try Chamber. Chamber is pretty nice for this elo. And considering that you improved your mechanical skill a bit, why not? You know, you can just focus on some raw angle holding, positioning, and mechanics with Chamber. And another agent I would recommend you, especially because you spend so much time on Omen, is Jet. Because Omen and Jet practically share 70 to 80% of similar strategies and tactics. Like, I would say 80% is the number. Similar executes, similar strats, similar positions where you want to end up, similar positions where you want to, how you want to scale up, how you want to take the fights. Of course, with Jet you have a bit more freedom because of a dash ability. So that would be a perfect love triangle for you, like Omen, Jet, and Chamber. I really hope Chamber is gay. I mean, Omen, I don't know if she's him, her, well, whatever. Now, when it comes to, like, loadouts, this is good. This is okay. This is fine. Just in the full buy rounds, you really are dying alone too many times. Like, you have a lot of solo deaths that are unnecessary, probably. When it comes to weapon versatility, this is very suboptimal. I'm not gonna lie. Like, one thing... So first thing I would advise you to try. Try playing for the next, like, 3 weeks, mainly with Phantom. I'm really curious, how would you perform with Phantom compared to the Vandal? Because you used Phantom for 110 kills. Brother, you have a 20 higher ADR and 0.2 more kills per round. If the Phantom is a better weapon for you, you play Phantom. If a Vandal is a better weapon for you, you play Vandal. Of course, you want to equally perform on both of these weapons and get better with both of them. But if a certain weapon suits your aiming style, playstyle better, why the hell not? You know, so maybe for the next 3 weeks, give Phantom some love. You know, when you have an option to choose between Vandal and Phantom, choose Phantom. And let's see how you're going to perform with a Phantom compared with a Vandal. Another problem here is that I don't know how Bulldog is your second most used weapon. I mean, Bulldog is one of the most optimal anti-eco bonus round half-buy weapons. You know, like, it can do everything. But there is no way, especially not in low elo, that the Bulldog is a solution for every round and every problem. Brother, like, you can go from Iron 1 to Ascendant 1 in Valorant by only playing shotguns and snipers. Pistol, essentially. Like, so especially when you're super low in terms of your rank, like, you really want to experiment with the guns as much as you can, and with your economy, so that you develop a really good feeling of when and how to use all of these weapons, and weapon versatility will allow you to have more solutions for different problems. You know, when you cannot out-aim the enemies, when you cannot, like, counter the enemies with a Vandal and Phantom, there's a Judge, there's an Operator, there's Bucky, Shorty, Stinger, Sheriff, Bandit, Classic, Outlaws, Marshal. Like, you should be using every weapon in the game. Like, the only two weapons that are underwhelming right now, and that I will never use in my life, are Frenzy and Ares, but every other weapon you should be touching, and you in a non-sexual way, and you should be, like, trying to incorporate them in your gameplay and playstyle. You know, I love that there is some kind of a versatility here. Like, you know, all of these other weapons are kind of equal, but still, you know, you should definitely give more love to a weapon such as Shorty, Operator, definitely, Stinger, Outlaw, Judge. You know, that's it. So that's kind of like your tracker. My friend is from India, and let's see what's happening on the Indian servers these days. When it comes to the maps, it's a bit weird that on Corrode you have such a bad win rate. I mean, Omen on Corrode is really good. Really, really good. And this act, what's happening? Split. Ah, come on, bro. Like, Split, the best map for Omen. But okay, today we're doing Fracture. Anyways, on Fracture, on Fracture you are playing, you know, underperforming a bit compared to other maps. So, sure, very good VOD to review. Okay, sorry for ignoring your chat, but yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Luxembourg. What to do if I get trollers on my team? You can try baiting them and trying to use their life in some kind of a productive way. You know, if they're already trolling, like, use them as a Sova drone, for an example. And at the end of the day, you know, 40% of matches in Valorant you cannot control. If you have levers, trollers, cheaters, smurfs, like, that happens in every competitive video game. And realistically, what you're always aiming for is a 60% win rate. Now, let me see the Twitch chat. I kind of ignored you guys a bit. What's up, chat? We're back! We're back on the grind again. I need to stream Valorant again. Capeta Wolfsy, man. Welcome, Baxter. Yo, Aman. Welcome, welcome. Bro went from positive win rate and negative KD to negative win rate and positive KD. Actually true. Brock has played 120 ranked matches of only Omen in one act. In silver, respect. What's the highest clutch percentage you saw in a tracker? 8%. And that is really high. 8% in 100 matches is insanity. Like, you don't understand how high that is. Because that number, you know, clutch percentage number, is also counting your 1v5s, 1v4s, and 1v3s. And obviously, you're not gonna win a 1v5, 1v4, 1v3 almost ever. So yeah. Is your 24/7 Valorant support gonna be compromised with the coming of that? No. Like, the only time when I'm gonna stop with my 24/7 support system is if I ever quit Valorant completely. But that's not gonna happen for another 5 years minimum. Actually, maximum. Like, that's what I'm giving myself. As well, try Lady Geist in Valorant. We just find that clutch percentage stats on the Valorant tracker. Just you can see the Valorant stat. You go to the profile, go to the show more, right here. Bam, you see it. Okay, let me go back to Twitch. Voidy, well, see, man. Why didn't you stream the last few days? So basically, listen. Like, the whole March, I was remaking my coaching programs, and I was remaking the Discord server. I was also making a website for coaching, for everything, merch as well, clipping, like some, you'll see giveaways, some other stuff, like websites which should come out next month. And also, I was grinding the shit out of Deadlock. Like, I think I played, in the last 3 months, I played 300 matches of Deadlock. approximately, with 70% win rate. But I realized that, you know, my account, you know, ranking up in that game is kind of weird. Like, if your account gets stuck in a specific rank for a long period of time, it takes too much time. So I made a new account. I got to Oracle in like 7 matches, and hopefully now I can reach Eternus in like less than 50 games. Especially now, I learned everything about the game. My movement is better, my aim is better, my utility, my micro, everything is better. So yeah. Can you play Deadlock later? Maybe tonight. I'll see. Maybe I do another stream. Instruction unclear. I shoved an op. Another Canadian VOD after a while. He's from Iran. He's lying, guys. He's literally from Wakanda. What would be a good team comp on Lotus for Premiere? Good team comp for Lotus on Premiere. I don't know right now. Like, to be honest, when it comes to a Sentinel, I don't know, man. Like, you know, on Lotus, still Vise is really good. Like, I would still run Vise to some degree, but still depends, you know, how good is your Premier team. Like, you can get away with Chamber as well. Like, literally whatever. Surprise, when it comes to a controller, you can literally mix up any controller. I will still play Omen as a main controller on this map 1,000,000%. When it comes to the agents, like, Neon is really good now. You know, like, some combo of Neon and Vela is still very overpowered in these pro play, like team play matches. Let's call it like that. And when it comes to Ini, like, I don't know. Like, I would probably run still Fade and Sova on this map, and even Tejo is really good now. Like, so really depends on the strengths of your players and team. Darka Matrician, thank you for the prime sub, man. Enjoy the playbook. And Gio, welcome, brother. Welcome back. Welcome back. Based on Lotus, Gio, Raiders is good. A Malta versus Bulgaria beef on Instagram goes hard. What? Matchmaking Deadlock is also so weird, but it ain't priority, I guess, at that moment. Yeah, I know. Felsinga doesn't play Deadlock every day, and he has still reached. Isaac is crazy on Lotus, no. Okay. Are you gonna check out other Valorant trackers of your viewers this stream, or just people you're gonna coach on stream today? Just the coaching today, just the coaching. What maps is Gecko good on? You can play Gecko on any map, to be honest. Like, it's a very versatile initiator. The only problem of Gecko is that the higher you go in the ranks, the more shit he becomes. You know, people actually start shooting at the flashes and utility. It's harder to be efficient with these abilities. So, I mean, below Ascendant 1, you can play Gecko on any map, literally, and win the matches. But after Ascendant 1, I don't know, like, in the current map pool, I would probably play Gecko on Lotus, Breeze, Fracture, and Pearl. And on Split, Haven, and Bind, Gecko is like, nah, you know, I know, not really something you want to touch. At least not in a higher lobbies. What is a good achievable number in clutch percentage? I'm Ascendant 2. Generally speaking, like, your clutch percentage should be always in between 4 and 6%. That's a good number. But the problem with... I need to make some kind of a guide where I explain, like, the methodology of reviewing Valorant trackers. Like, I never did that ever. Like, when you're looking at Valorant trackers, like, you're not only looking on individual numbers, and you're like, this number is good, this number is bad. Like, you're kind of combining some of these stats to make an educated guess, like, what's actually wrong for a specific player. Because a player can have, like, for an example, let's say, player can have very low KST, but a very, very high ADR, KD, and clutch percentage, and that is also optimal. You know, if a player can actually, you know, win most of these 50-50 fights and just fight and be useful in that specific way, that's also fine. You know, that's a different playstyle, and then, you know, you can get away with a lot of shit in this game. Okay, let's make predictions. So the first prediction is gonna be, are they... By the way, if you participate in the predictions on the... Fuck me in the ass, man. I need to log in on my Twitch, bro. Like, how am I streaming? Have an account login. Yes, I do. Just a second. Is that the password? I don't even know the password to my if you participate in predictions on Twitch, you can win Valorant points and free coaching. Papito! Thank you for coaching me. I reached my goal of Radiant after your coaching. Man, no problem, man. No problem. I swear to God, like, if you cannot get Radiant this act and you've been immortal, you're probably never gonna get Radiant, to be honest. Like, this act and next act, if you cannot get Radiant, it's time to quit. Brother, I just typed in my authenticator for OnlyFans. Wait a second. What? 49. Yo, Pacho man. Hello, sir. Love from India. Much love for my Canadian community, man. Okay. Predictions. Do first round win? WL. 2 minutes. Bam. Oracle awaits. No, Frost. Tonight we grind. Tonight we hunt. Is that Rengar? Tonight we hunt. Tonight we hunt. Is that a Rengar quote? Okay. Fracture, and we're starting on the attacker side. Settings, blah 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 blah. Let's go. It's VOD review. VOD review. Have you ever hit rank 1? No, neither did I try. Like, literally, that's like there's a lot of ways how you can waste time in your life, but that's one of the biggest. You know, that's on top of the list. That's on top of the list. Unless you wanna go pro. Okay, so first round of Fracture. Now, keep in mind, I didn't do a Fracture VOD review for like 2 years. And I'm also going to be reminding myself about a lot of stuff. Anyways, on my Discord server, you have a Fracture rank playbook. And you definitely watch that as well. Because, you know, I probably forgot about a lot of the stuff. And I'm not going to mention a lot of the stuff. And it's going to happen. Probably, because I didn't do a VOD review on Fracture for like literally 4 years. 2 years, whatever. Now, defender side of Fracture. So, on a defender side of Fracture, you should play Fracture as a fast rotation map. Like, basically, on the first contact between your team and enemy team, you want to make some kind of a move. What should that move be? You can take more space behind the enemies. Or you can just rotate faster. Period. Now, on Fracture, your default site number 1 priority is B site. Number 2 priority A site. Generally speaking on Fracture, like whenever you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, what are they gonna do, you can just play some of, you know, the good default strategies on this map. Now, what are the good default strategies on Fracture? Number 1, you can start on B, locking down the arcade area of the map. And based on the info that you're getting on the map, you can try scooting in the underpass or going behind the enemies. Number 2, you can start in the dish. Control the dish, try to fuck up the enemies here, and try to get some kills. So, and, you know, based on some information on the map, once again, you can go for some fast rotation, fast play, and get the information for your team. And the ultimate... Thank you for giving us up, Levis. And the ultimate default play on Fracture is obviously taking the aim and control. From the first full buy round, where both you and the enemies are full buy, we should be applying some level of pressure in the A-main. Defending the A site without the A-main control, hell of a time. Hell of a time. And you should really be trying to condition enemies and condition your teammates as well that we are fighting here. So, in most of the rounds, like, one of your default plays with Omen should be placing some kind of a smoke in the A-main area of the map to either support yourself, to maybe support your teammates, or generally like to make the enemies waste some utility. Let's say, for an example, you start on the B site, and you see that on minimap, none of your teammates are defending A-main. It's okay. You can drop this smoke as a starting smoke in order to burn out some utility from the enemies, especially in low elo. Like, no one is gonna walk through this smoke and just go onto the bomb site. Like, they're gonna probably just run, make footsteps, and you're gonna get the info. Having zero A-main control is really bad. The only area of the map for which I would never fight alone, or never touch alone, is the B-main. It's way too dangerous, way too stupid, like, you don't need to do that. Or at least, you know, don't do the dry peak fights here. That's really bad, and then you're in a huge disadvantage, and most of the times you should be dead. Now, in the first round of Fracture, I would always play a double push strategy, if that is possible, and if if one of your teammates want to do that. So, basically, what's that? So in the first round of Fracture, it's really stupid if you play it passively. If you just sit on the bomb site, wait for the enemies to do something, and that's it. It's much better to be proactive and to take this part of the map from the enemy team. Whoever controls the upper part of the map on Fracture has a huge edge, especially in this first round. So in the first round, you should always try doing a two-man push through the dish all the way behind the enemies. So you start the round with one of your teammates fighting for the dish, and then based on what happens here, you make some kind of a move. So, you don't see a single enemy here. Enemies are not making any contact in A-main. Walk here, clear all of these positions, and then you can run from this spot to this spot, and then you're on a really fast flank lurk, and enemies are never going to expect a double flank and double lurk that fast in a first round. Now, you get a contact with the enemies in dish. No matter what is the result of that fight, you can just pull back and focus on defending A set with the rest of your team, and maybe you can try outplaying the enemies around this smoke, playing like inside of it in this corner, and trying to get some picks and surprising the enemies. Or maybe both you and that teammate that pushed the dish together with you, we can sit in the smoke, make the enemies think that we drop down, and we can just surprise them and kill them. Generally speaking, like, in this area of the map, in the first round, you're never gonna fight more than 2 enemies. Like, 1, maximum 2 enemies are gonna be in dish, if the call is the 5-man push on A set in the first round. Usually that also doesn't happen. Now, if enemies are going A, like, you don't see anyone here, nobody is here, nobody is here, you hear that enemies are going A, essentially, just go back. Like, then we should smoke the A-main area of the map. We can also maybe do a one-way smoke right here, if you don't have the control of the sands, and try to defend the site, with your teammates. Now, if your teammates don't want to fight for this, you can also do a solo play, solo push. Just be a bit more careful and, clear all of these, angles properly. Also, what you can do in the first round, if you're too scared to push this alone, you can play classic shorty strategy, as per usual. Literally, you can start with a shorty right here, get a classic, get a light shell, get one shrouded step, or you can get like a classic shorty, 2 smokes, paranoia, and 1 shrouded step. We can start in the aim area of the map, getting the information here, trying to go for one tap, pull back, enemies are gonna push you probably through the sands and the aim as well, drop a Kabi position smoke here. You can also drop a smoke for this if you don't have any dish control to support your teammates. Enemies are coming in. We can dodge the enemy's random spray. With this cover, we can dodge the enemy's utility, get a free pick, and then with the shrouded steps, paranoia, you can go for an additional outplay, you can back off, you can reset, you can do whatever the hell you wanna do. So yeah, let's see how you're going to play the first round and what's going to be happening in this match. Also, already at the start of the match, you should have some kind of an idea how you want to play this game. So, when it comes to your team composition, it is interesting. Like, we're going to have a huge problem on the attacker side because like, you know, we don't have any initiator in our team. We don't have a single information anywhere. So, you know, when you're engaging the enemies during the retakes, and on the attacker side, you really need to clear every angle carefully, jump spot the enemies, check every position. With this team comp, it should be okay for us to fight in both A main, B main, dish, arcade, you know, like we can be proactive on the map. We have a lot of, you know, flashes as well with the Phoenix and you. And with 2 sentinels, I mean, like, we should be able to delay the enemies a bit somewhere. When it comes to the enemy team comp, I don't know, like, standard ranked bullshit, to be honest. Like, depending on how the Neon plays, like, we can easily counter the Neon with the shotguns and F her up, especially in this elo. And, you know, they don't really have a dive agent, so that's a bit of a potential problem for them, but Neon is still there. But also we have, like, Deadlock and Sage, so I don't know. We'll see how this game is gonna go. So, in the first round, always play dish. Oh, by the way, if you're pushing the dish, you know, if you decide to do a double push with one of your teammates, Ghost, 2 smokes, 1 shrouded step. Bandit, 2 smokes. Classic, light shield, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. Those are your buy options. And that's it. What do you want to buy? Depends what you prefer as a player. Okay, let's see what our friend is going to do. I already see some classic shorty strategy. Now listen, you really don't want to use this strategy around this box because it's spammable, number 1. This angle, even my grandma is clearing in 2026, and when you drop a smoke like this, I mean, I don't know, like, if I'm in the enemy team, they should expect you there. But it really depends how you're gonna play around this smoke. Because if you drop this smoke, for an example, and you wanna play with a shorty, I would always play in this angle. Because it's less likely to be spammed by the enemy team. If you wanna play classic shorty in the first round, like, always, without the light shield, always get 2 smokes, paranoia, and 1 shrouded step. You know, paranoia is better than 2 shrouded steps, basically. And play classic shorty strategy right here with this cubby position smoke. It's just better. What rank is this? Like, silverish, goldish. I'm stuck on 7-1 and 7-2 till 2 months. Can you recommend some other inis to play? Initiator solo queue to grind to immortal because I love to play initiators. I mean, right now, the best 2 solo initiators are Sova and Fade. And Gecko. Like, but I mean, Gecko in Ascendant, Low Immortal, I don't know about that. You can give him a try. So, those will be my top 2 picks, you know, like Sova and Fade are still, like, best solo 2 if you want to play solo initiators in ranked solo queue. I would probably prefer Fade over the Sova. When it comes to Breach and Tejo and those type of agents, like, they kind of rely way too much on team play, so you cannot really go for that many solo outplays. Also, I really like how he's starting the round. This is really good. So, one of the main mistakes players make in Valorant is, like, you're gonna play some kind of a shotgun strategy. Like, I don't know, you're gonna sit here with a judge, for an example. Like, your idea is to kill enemies here with a judge. And you start the round here. That is something you should never do. Like, you need to get the information. And you need to bait the enemies with a pistol in this angle. Because we cannot allow the enemies to potentially walk all the way from here to here and then surprise us on timing and kill us. We need to get a contact, we need to make enemies run, we need to make enemies start using their utility. And we need to get the info for the rest of our team, where the hell are the enemies. Very good. listen, if you're doing this type of a, you know, peek, as soon as the round starts, make one silent footstep, and then just jiggle peek this angle. And don't, you know, don't shoot. Don't shoot blank bullets. Or just, so, barrier drops down, one silent step, start walking, jiggle peek this angle. You're not losing the timing onto the enemies, we can see the enemies, and basically, you know, if you see an enemy there, you can try to go for one dead zone shot, and then position here to F up the enemies with a shorty. But generally speaking, like, the first strategy that I explained is, like, far better. Because, you know, if we miss gamble, if enemies don't go A in the first round, or dish, for an example, you know, already at this moment of time, at 1:30, if you're pushing this dish from the beginning of the round, you're already somewhere here. And you're already behind the enemies, ready to make a sandwich out of them, together with your deadlock or mix. Also, listen, since you're playing a double controller setup, if you play classic shorty strategy on a defender's side, you can go with a classic light shield and one shrouded step, because, anyways, mix has 2 smokes. You have 1, so we have 3 smokes still. Or you can go with a ghost and shorty as well.
Cover going out.
Good smoke, actually. No reason to smoke B-man because the wall is still not destroyed.
Shadows traveling.
Pay attention to the minimap, you know, like if Sage Wall is not broken yet, why would you like, you know, smoke that area of the map? Relax a bit. Let's see what's gonna happen. Maybe the whole enemy team right now is doing a 5-man arcade push. Yo, ground, walks through, man. Ground, come in, one.
Shadows traveling.
You know, especially in this situation, you should have saved 1 smoke, because we're 3 versus 5. When you're playing this type of retakes, you need to use one of your smokes selfishly to take space and to engage enemies. Like, for example, right now, we really needed this second smoke to drop it in the middle of the bomb site here in order to close the gap with the enemies and to separate them in some solo fights. You know, we can just drop a smoke up here, same as we do on the attacker side, around the boxy boxes, and you TP on top of the smoke, and now we can wrap the enemies and engage them in so many different ways, literally. Plus, you have 2 shrouded steps, like you can go for 1 fake shrouded step to reveal the enemies, bamboozle them around, and then take a fight. Playing this retake right now is gonna be mega hard, because, I mean, we're 3v5 with 2 controllers, deadlock, 0 smokes. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Very good play for a silver player, I'm not gonna lie. And very good timing as well. This is not something I would expect from a silver. So why this play is good, I mean, obviously, now we cannot fight up front. There's like 3, 4, 5 enemies on the bomb site. And generally speaking, like, whenever you're retaking the B set of Fracture, you mainly want to focus first on clearing the arcade, clearing the tower, and then clearing the site. And then, you know, finally clearing the B-main area of the map. Yo, Bang Chan, we'll see, man. Now, how you went up these ropes is a bit criminal. Like, you know, here, I don't know why are you aiming inside of the wall, number 1. Why would you do that, you know? Why would you do that? And also, like, I mean, when you're going through this area of the map, and you have no info if any enemies are here, you should clear the back of this box properly, check that position as well, and then focus on going tower. And then on tower, you're mainly pre-aiming this spot. If I see an enemy here, I would just go for a triple shot, detach myself immediately, and search for some better fight. Like, you should never commit to this type of a fight because it's too much of a gamble. there's too much inaccuracy as well, and only God knows if you're gonna win or lose that gunfight. As soon as you saw Sova and you got surprised, you should have fired one triple shot while detaching yourself from the ropes and going down and resetting yourself for a second fight. Anyways, from now on, Mix, can you please push Dish together with me in the first round? And, you know, like, we just clear the Dish area of the map silently on contact. We can peek from this angle, Mix from that angle, and we're going. Check this position, always. Then we can check some of these off angles here. You don't see anyone here. Start running. Check this spot, and once your sound circle hits these two corners, look at the minimap, you start walking again. And you're on a really fast flank, fast lurk. You know that enemies are not in this part of the map. And if enemies are B, they're fucked. If enemies are going through Omen only silently, it's okay. We can play a 5v5 retake, still better than playing a 3v5 retake, for an example. Yeah. Now listen, on Fracture, we have some very strict rules when it comes to the second round. So basically, if you win the first round of Fracture, in the second round, you should always play on the... Just a second. You should always play on the B site and mainly defend the arcade area of the map. And if you lose the first round of the Fracture, you should always position onto the A site. Once again, we can use some classic shorty strategy here. Classic shorty around the site, on top of the site. Classic shorty around this smoke. Basically, you know, like, you can bait the enemies with a classic pistol in the dish. Drop a shorty here. Shorty there. Classic. Get this information. Aha, enemies are coming. Ba ba ba. A few shots. Drop this smoke. Take a shorty. And play around this angle. Crouch down and try to surprise enemies on timing and kill them. You can also try to kill the enemies with a shorty around the opening doors as well. It's really up to you. Bandit, okay. I mean, just you're playing in a very low elo, and in this elo you can get away with some very, very crazy shorty kills. I mean, Bandit is a pretty decent eco weapon. I'm not gonna forbid you to play it.
Back each other up. Enemy spotted.
Cover going out.
You know, like, especially in this match, you're playing against the Neon, and we can easily pre-assume that Neon is gonna be running us down. We can easily pre-assume that Neon is gonna run like a monkey. You know? So, you know, effing up the Neon with a shorty and shotguns is one of the easiest things that you can do, especially in these low elo lobbies where you're obviously not playing against Aspas and other. Now listen, this spot is also good. Like, this position is also good to play around, but when you drop this type of a smoke. So basically you drop the smoke, you can drop the same cubby position smoke and play like this. But because very rarely, you know, you're almost never gonna get spammed through this smoke like this. Like, enemies need to curve up here and then spam this position. But we need to destroy that Sova dart.
Cover going out.
I don't know. I just feel that this round will be 10 times easier and less complicated if you use some classic shorty strategy. You got a free kill onto that Neon instead of the smoke. Maybe a free gun. Maybe one more free kill. Better than all of this BS. Okay. So in the first round, enemies went B. Second round A, we can immediately activate the AB rule and pre-assume that in this round, enemies are gonna go B. Whenever you're defending the B site, you mainly want to prioritize defending the arcade area of the map, especially when enemies are playing some kind of an eco halberd bonus round. Because if you lose the arcade against enemies with the close range weapons, it's gonna be interesting defending the bomb site. So in this round, we can just pick up the because you invested a lot of the credits in the previous round by buying the bandit, in this round
What will it be?
we have 3,700 credits. We should get a vandal or phantom, light shield, one more smoke, and 2 shrouded steps. Is that okay? 400, 150, 550. Yeah, actually one shrouded step. And, you know, we play a full buy round. Also, in this round, what you can do, because you invested more money into that eco round, because you bought the bandit, it's okay. Fracture is still a very claustrophobic map. We can go with a judge, heavy shield, and all of the utility. And instead of defending arcade, like, we can mainly focus on effing up the enemies on the tower. And basically, like, just, you know, we start in the on tower, jiggle peeking this angle, getting the info. You get the info about the enemies. We can smoke this, just so we make the enemies waste some utility as they're going through this area of the map. And you can just literally wait for the enemies. You baited them with a classic pistol, hold an angle like this, and enemies are gone.
This time, have any patterns emerged?
But buying a bulldog in this, you know, third full buy round is a bit of a nonsense.
I got you, bruv.
Listen, even if you want to play some kind of a passive angle like this on the bomb site, still start the round with some kind of an information. What do I mean by that? So, you want to play this passive angle here. Start the round by jump spotting the enemies in the B-min. Doing this or doing it a bit wider. Get the info and then get back onto this position. Now, holding this angle in this way, I would not actually do it. Like, this is not the angle where I would implement this type of an angle holding technique. This angle, I would always hold it, you know, either as a tight angle from this position, as tight as my reaction time allows me, or just, you know, jiggle peeking it, going in and out, and that's it. So I would not hold it this close to this wall. There are certain angles in Valorant that are really good being held like this, but this is not one of those angles, because it's curved in a wrong way. Also, listen, when it comes to the crosshair placement, like, whenever enemies can engage you from 2 different verticalities, always follow top to bottom crosshair placement rule. So, enemies here can peek you from this position and this position. Place your crosshair for the highest possible spot from which enemies can peek you. And on the lower enemies, react with your down flicks. So your crosshair here should be somewhere on this level, not on this level. But we should mainly focus here on defending the arcade, like, and getting that info in the B-main with a jump spot, because, you know, right now you're just wasting your time. We need some information. We have no info in A-main, no info in dish, no info in arcade, no info in B-main. You wanted to start this passively, okay, no problem. But this cannot be your first position. Go jump spot the enemies in the B-main, get some info, and don't waste your time. You see the enemies, okay, you can hold this spot, you can maybe teleport onto this off angle, and from this position try to F up the enemies on timing, or quite literally you can just hold it, you know, as a 70-30 angle towards the drop. But this just cannot be your first spot that you play on the map. Especially considering how passively the rest of our team is playing. I mean, you would have known that nobody is in the B-main area of the map 30 seconds ago. 29 actually. No, okay, maybe like 27. So you would not waste 27 seconds of your life. Aha, no one is in the B main. Okay. Time to make some kind of a move. Because enemies are playing a bonus round, I don't really need to push behind them. Even though, like, against this team composition, you should be going for a bit more flanks and lurks and aggressive plays, because they don't have a sentinel that can actually reveal your, you know, your pushes from behind. So, I don't know, like, you really just wasted your time in this round.
No surprises.
Now listen, we're playing, like, double controller setup in low elo lobbies is nonsense. Generally, in ranked solo queue, like, double controller setups are only good if you have a Viper in the team. Viper, Omen, Viper, Brimstone, Viper, mix, whatever. Because a lot of times what's going to happen for you is we're just going to be wasting our smokes. Double smoking everything. But considering that your mix right now somehow missed a fucking smoke for dish, yeah, you need to smoke the dish.
Shadows traveling. Shadows traveling.
One thing that I like is you're pretty fast with utility usage. Surprising for a Silver 3 player.
Spike planted.
Listen, you can destroy this ability from Mix, even if he is in your team. If your Mix misses his stun, destroy it. You don't need to waste your time here.
Enemy spotted.
Now, this is a bit of a waste for a shrouded step. Like, basically, the only reason for you to use fake shrouded steps or recon shrouded steps like this is to either outplay the enemies or get the info. But you already got the info about the enemies on the minimap as your teammates were dying and as you were rotating. You know, we know that Omen and Mix are stuck on the bomb site. We know that one enemy is around the dish area of the map and probably one enemy is in A main. So we should actually be taking the fights right now with the enemies instead of, you know, using this type of shrouded step. And if you already want to shrouded step somewhere, you know, taking this spot will not be a bad idea, considering that we still have a smoke for the dish. We know that no one is on the left side yet, and we can just do this. In the same time, reveal the enemies, and now we can maybe kill the Omen here, then kill the Gecko there, then maybe we can use a second shrouded step to teleport behind this cover, engage enemies in the A main, clear this upper position, and that's it.
Enemy spotted.
Like, this type of shrouded step you only use, like, when you absolutely don't know where are the enemies, or you wanna just play with the enemy's mind and, you know, you wanna make them think that you teleported somewhere.
Player standing.
Now listen, this round is over, unfortunately. It is over because we played way too passively, with zero information. And as I already mentioned, like, even if you're starting on the B site, if you notice that your teammates are not fighting for the A main area of the map, and you don't need any early smokes to, like, support your own place, always put some kind of a smoke in the A main as a default smoke. Like, since your teammates are not fighting for A main, you need to drop a smoke like this. So the enemies don't have the vision, you know, like, if you had the timing to go here or do something and they're gonna be making the steps, your teammates are gonna give you info a bit sooner probably. We need to gamble on it, essentially. And once again, you cannot start the rounds this passively, because if you just did a basic jump spot in the B main area of the map, well, maybe you can go for a fast lurk, fast flank. You know, maybe you can try teleporting here and catching the enemies that are going A and trying to surprise them somehow. Fracture is really the map same as Breeze. Like, Fracture and Breeze are the only maps where, you know, it's good to lurk and flank. It's good to take more space from behind the enemies, especially when enemies don't have a sentinel or some recon agent to reveal you. Now this round is over. You should not even be fighting here. You just disengage. Fuck it. We need to save this bulldog for the next round and we are focusing on winning the next round. You should get a Vandal from the tower from one of your dead teammates, save this gun, and we'll live to fight another day. Your chances of winning this round, below 1%. We don't know if enemies are low, we don't know how much HP they have. We're 1v4, enemies can also play super passively from the dish and A site, and generally retaking A site alone, where you need to end up in a crossfires consistently, without any smokes, paranoia, or utility. It's just, like, enemies need to make so many mistakes for you to win this round. Yo, Farid, we'll see, man. 110 streak. They lost the first round, huh? Just a second, I need to stop the prediction. It's an L. Okay, let's make another prediction. How many kills, huh? How many kills and half? Let's say 13 or more, 13 or above, 12 or below. 2 minutes. Good Kyle, I'm not gonna lie. Good TP as well, but I don't know, like, this whole fight, this, I don't know, like, just enemies, you know, you need to pull this out. You need to pull this round out of your anal cavity to win it.
One enemy remaining.
Well, enemies are actually making the mistakes that we talked about.
He killed.
Okay, nice try, but still, you know, you cannot gamble on this type of a stuff this early on in a match where your economy is just shit. Because if you lose the next round as well, and we're 0-4, it's gonna be a huge problem. So yeah. Now, 2 times in a row, enemies went A. So we can use rule of 3 executes to pre-assume that enemies in the next round are gonna go B again. So in this round, what we should do, we can play some passive strategy with a Stinger, Bucky, Shorty around the B main area of the map, arcade area of the map, or the tower, and try to trade ourselves for like 1, 2, or 3 kills as the enemies are moving in. Fuck the Sheriff on a map such as Fracture. It's a very claustrophobic map, and we're playing Omen and a dive agent with 2 shrouded steps and 2 smokes. You can easily close the gap with the enemies no matter where the enemies go on the attacker's side. Yeah, basically here you have money like for... What you should get is like heavy shield, Stinger, Paranoia, utility, and that's it. Or you can play with a heavy shield and Bucky and utility. Or maybe light shield, Bucky, and Bandit. So you have a gun for long range and medium range fights, and you have a gun for a close range as well. But Sheriff, you know, why would it? Also, I don't know why you're saving so many credits.
Cover going out.
Here.
Shadows traveling.
Here.
Oh, you have a Bucky and Sheriff.
Reloading.
This spot here was actually the perfect spot. You know, the problem is like, you can never play in the center of... Usually, you cannot play in the center of the smokes when you play with the shotguns, because we need to pre-assume that enemies are probably going to be spamming these smokes a bit. You know? So, if you already have this type of a setup where the sage wall is in front of you, you have this type of a smoke that is giving you a perfect cover behind the sage wall, the best spot you can play right now is essentially behind the wall, moving left and right with a silent step mechanic, and basically waiting for the enemies to come on your crosshair. If enemies are not, you know, going through the smoke, we can replenish the smoke, do a second one, and wait.
Reloading.
This spot is mega dangerous because, like, I mean, literally, I don't know, brother, like, you know, right now enemies can kill you from the left side. You know, you don't see half of the screen. You have no idea what's happening on this part.
Let them begin.
I forgot this is a silver VOD. Good kill. Good kill. I love to see this. Very nice.
My ultimate is ready.
Now listen, Whenever you lose info in the arcade area of the map, and enemies can be on tower and in arcade, you really don't want to be stuck on the bomb site. Like, you want to move somewhere. Anywhere. Go on, take the tower. Fight on the tower. Especially because you have a Bucky and Sheriff. You can take every single duel from the tower. Go somewhere else. Like, just don't be on the bomb site. Here you should literally walk into this smoke while your teammates are still holding the beam and area of the map for you. And let's try to shove up this Bucky into the ass of one more enemy. Now we're in a bit of a problem. Like, you know, no one is defending arcade for you. If enemies are tower and pushing through arcade as well, only God knows how this is gonna go. Plus they, you know, still have one more Reyna flash, maybe Sova dart. You should have went into that smoke, delete this Omen, get him out of the server, get his gun, and you win the round. Anyways, like in these eco rounds, you should almost always play as a kamikaze. Consistently. You know, as long as you don't have a true numbers advantage. What is a true numbers advantage? 5v3, 5v2, 5v1, 4v3, 4v2, 4v1, 3v2, 3v1, 2v1. As long as these are not the numbers present on the table, go. Try to get one more kill. If you made a 5v4 numbers advantage. It's an eco round anyways. Aman, you need to chill with the war references, bro. Like, my crypto portfolio is falling down. Nice shot though, he got a kill, but, you know, for example, if you went into that smoke a bit sooner, and you killed that Omen sooner, you would have had a gun, we would have had a 5v3 numbers advantage, and maybe 3 of our teammates wouldn't die like a potatoes.
Last player standing.
And now you also died like a potato. Just keep in mind that literally, you should never be stuck on the bomb site of B set of arcade, when enemies can have the tower, arcade, and beam and control. Never. Like, you need to fight either for one of these areas of the map, like go into arcade, go into B main, go onto tower, or disengage completely, maybe get onto some off angle, or just leave the site and play the retake. Usually, on Fracture, when players have the Gecko ultimate, they love to go A. So your idea to play A set in this round, very good, very nice. Very good, very nice. So basically, yeah, you know, this is a good gamble. That's a usual tendency that players have. But I would mainly be fighting for the aim and area of the map right now. You know? Like, aim and control is a bit more important. I don't really know what enemies like to do in a dish. But if you stop enemies in aiming with Sage Wall, Sage Slow Orbs, your Paranoia, Smokes, maybe we get a kill as well, and we destroy the Gecko's ultimate, we have a much higher chance of winning this round. Ooh. Okay, we can do that. Now, when you're playing in the arcade area of the map, this area of the map, sorry, you can hold this area of the map like in 3 different ways. The first thing that you can do, you can hold an angle like this, ADS, wait for the enemies, hold it as tight as your reaction time allows you, go for one tap, then as the enemies are coming here and here, you can paranoid them, get a kill, get the fuck out. You can also hold a tight angle from this position, try to go for a kill, and once again with the paranoia you can, on timing, F up the enemies and kill them. You can also hold an off angle such as this one, wait for the enemies, go for one bullet, burst fire, drop down, but of course only when aim in and send area of the map is in our control. You can also teleport onto this off angle, and from this position, hold the arcade push. No one is going to have a good crosshair placement for you, especially not in low elo lobbies, and that's a free pick for you. Whenever you're holding these tight positions, always hold them with aim down sight, You're more precise. It's easier to micro-correct. It's easier to see the first enemy pixel. It's just easier. Good paranoia from the enemy Omen, I'm not gonna lie.
Cover going out.
I understand your idea here. You know, I understand what you wanted to do. We were just a bit slow. So, you have good ideas. You know, you're just a bit slow with utility users, which is gonna come with time, I guess, like, and practice.
Cover going out.
Very good, very nice.
Shadows traveling.
Where are you going right now? It's not an eco round anymore. You literally completed your main task in Valorant, making a numbers advantage. All you have to do right now is preserve this numbers advantage. Where are you going? We have smoke for dish, smoke for main. Enemies are going for a 5-man push on A. We can easily pre-assume that. Why? Because this whole match enemies play together as 5, and that is how they played, and that's the only info that we have. So, where are you going right now? If you already wanted to go somewhere, like, the best thing you can do at this moment of time is teleport onto this off angle. And from this position, you can support your teammates in sand, you can fuck up enemies in dish, and you can also potentially get a free pick onto the enemies going through the aim area of the map. Where are you going? Waste of Shrouded Step. And way too dangerous. I don't know if anyone is in the smoke or close to me here. And why would I waste a Shrouded Step like that? We already know that enemies are going A. You know? They can as well be close to the doors. Maybe Gecko is getting ready for the ult. And this Shrouded Step doesn't reveal the enemies in any way. Because you don't, you know, literally an enemy can be behind the smoke here. An enemy can be behind the box. This corner, like you didn't get any info.
No surprises.
Wait, I'm gonna ban you, man.
Spike planted.
Live transfer at $2 per hour. Now listen, when you're going for this type of flanks and lurks behind the enemies, so at some moment you need to start walking. Like at some moment you need to start walking. Like basically here, okay, you push this area of the map. First of all, even pushing this area of the map by running was way too dangerous because an enemy could have been here, 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 here. But okay, at least we cleared all of the angles. But when you reached already a position like this, so basically your sound circle is crossing this area. We need to walk, keep our location a secret, and now we're going for a silent flank and trying to surprise the enemies. You cannot be running here, giving info to the enemy Reyna that you're behind her and she's ready for this fight.
Last.
Okay. In this round, we have a bit of a weird situation. Basically, like, Gecko still has the ultimate, and chances that enemies go A are super high. But we also won the round on A in the previous round. I mean, we stopped their push and delayed their push. So in this round, playing B is okay. Anyways, B set is your default bomb set, so it's fine. I just don't know what are we gonna do right now. May I ask, how did we win the last round and now we're playing eco? Listen, brother, this is a full buy round. Like, fuck it. You know? Or at least get something better than a bandit. Like, here for an example. instead of buying a bandit. Once again, get a Bucky, light shield, and a bandit. You have a weapon for everything. You can bait the enemies with a bandit, maybe get some long range, medium range fights. Enemies come close to you, they're dead from the Bucky. You don't need to play bandit and heavy shield when you already have money to afford something better. So I don't know about this, I don't know about this angle. Like, the thing is, like, let me see the sound circle, like, yeah, I mean, like, enemies can literally hear you. If they started here, they can literally hear you dropping onto this position, but we'll see. Maybe they're not gonna be ready. You know, like, a much easier way to play this round. You wanna play arcade. You think enemies are gonna go arcade and B. Bandit, Bucky, light shield. Start passively from the tower. Bait the enemies with the bandit. Try to go for one tap, 2 tap, bop. Now enemies are gonna think, oh, this guy only has a bandit, let's run him down. That Neon pushes you like a monkey. You kill her on this spot, bam. Neon is dead. Now we can drop this smoke. We can drop this smoke. Delay the enemy's push. Fight with our Sage. Fight with our teammates. Maybe we can also walk into this smoke to surprise the enemies with a Bucky again. And that's a free pick and a free kill for you. Troch cam when?
Going out. Scatter.
Train harder.
Sage name is Dry Bad Asian. What?
Shadows traveling.
My ultimate is ready. Weapon here.
Spike down B.
Also, I really don't understand why you're playing so passively right now. When your teammates are playing aggressively. Like, where you play depends completely what your teammates want to do. Okay, you did shrouded steps here, you repositioned, and got away from the Neon. You dropped a smoke for the arcade, very good. Now, since my Sage wants to play on the bomb site, we need to play with that Sage. Like, we cannot run away. If you lose the Sage and we lose the site, I mean, the round is practically... I mean, it's not over, but... You know, our chances of winning this round in an eco, very low. This retake.
Scatter.
Train harder.
Here as well, like... You see... Mix running on site. Sage is still on tower. Go play with the Sage. Let's take the tower control with the Sage. Anyways, you know, like... Bandit is like also a close range weapon. You know, like, the best way of using the bandit in eco rounds against the enemies with a heavy shield is fighting them in 0 to 10 meters, where you can just go for one headshot and get them out of the server. Playing always with teammates and babysitting them is so draining for me, but, you know, that is one summary of Valorant. You know, Valorant is like a babysitting game of numbers, essentially.
Shadows traveling.
My ultimate is ready. Weapon here.
Spike down B.
Spike is here.
This is not something that usually happens to you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, usually you check the corners, check the angles, you're aware that enemies can be somewhere. But brother, like, you know, if you drop a smoke for the arcade, and you don't have the info, if an enemy can be in this corner, you always expect an enemy behind or inside of this corner. Good Kyle, though. Good Kyle.
Reeling them in. Weapon target escaped.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, we know the Sova was in the B-main, but he can also be underpass because the spike is dropped in arcade. So right now, this Sova is probably underpass, and we should just fight with the Phoenix and Sage. And even if he's not, like, we have like 3 teammates on site, so better to support the Phoenix anyways. Okay, we stopped the enemy's push on B as well, so now we play A. You know, it's simple as that, essentially. Plus they have Neon and Gecko ultimate. Once again, I just think that it's much better taking aim and area of the map with your team, especially in this round where enemies have shit tons of utility, Sova alt, Neon alt, Gecko alt, rather than fighting for dish. If enemies want to use all of these abilities from the dish, it's okay, but it's a bit harder. But if they take aim and control, they can go through the Sands, they can go through aim in, it's easier to use the Gecko's ultimate, you know, it's easier to use the Sova ultimate.
Coward, run.
And also, not fighting for the aim and control is a bit criminal on Fracture. This is never worth it. Literally never. Like, jump spot this angle and that's it. This, you know, it's just not worth it. Like, wasting a shot step for a position where you can actually jump spot the enemies. Why would you do that? Like, if you can already do this and take cover and get away, well, fuck it, you know, like, I will not waste an ability just to get the info there. Also, this area of the map and arcade area of the map, you can hold a bit more passively. You know, like, you don't need to get early info. Like, you can start in a position like this and try to kill the enemies here, try to kill enemies here, play some kind of a double bait setup where one teammate is, you know, somewhere in this line, and you're holding a position like this. That's also fine. Okay, you know, when enemies become this predictable, like, just follow the pattern. Next round we play B, obviously, and in this round I would definitely focus myself on defending the arcade, because what we notice is that Neon is mainly focused on taking the B control through the arcade. She has the ultimate, so we need to deal with her. Also, whenever you have extra credits, combine your main weapon with a shorty as well, especially when you're playing against some bullshit agents such as Neon. So in this one, what you should be doing is we can play around the boxes and maybe try to pick the enemies on timing. We can also play the tower once again and try to get some kill from tower. We can hold this angle as a starting position, try to get a kill here, reposition onto generator, and from the generator try to get a second pick, smoke the arcade, and then reconnect with your teammates. For tower, you can easily fight with a paranoia and your utility. But playing on the A set again, I don't know. Unless you're cheating, it's okay. If you're cheating, it's fine. How much playtime is really above average to reach Immortal and Radiant in 2026? Above average. So 250, 500, around 400 to 500 hours is above average. Far above average. Like, I would say 500 hours. For Immortal. For Immortal. But even Radiant, like, you know, like, now that Radiant is 300 rank rating, Radiant now is like Immortal 4. You know? Radiant is not Radiant anymore. It's like literally Immortal 4. So, I don't know. Like, for Immortal, 500 hours, 100%. You need to keep in mind that most of the players reach Immortal after thousands of hours. I'm giving you this estimate based on how much time I'm willing to invest in a game before I quit it, before I know the game is not for me. Like usually, you know, if I play a game for 4 months, and I play every month like around 100, 150 matches, and I'm not able to reach the second highest rank in the game, fuck it. I literally, I'm not gonna bother with it.
Thanks.
Once again, jumps for the beam in. Maybe Sage doesn't need to wall the beam in. And if you already see at the start of the round that your Sage is starting in the beam in, and every round she's doing a beam in wall, defend the arcade. Anyways, arcade control you value more than the beam in control. Why? Because, you know, arcade is open, enemies can go through the link, through the tower, and fuck you up. You know? They open 2 choke points. So, anyways, this Sage wall in the beam in is stupid. Like, it's much better if you tell your Sage to wall the arcade, and we can just use the slow orbs to slow the push of the enemies in beam in, and, you know, that's it.
Area created. Here. Hi! I'm pissed!
At this point, Valorant is for no one. What? Okay, here. You heard the Neon ultimate. They're not pushing B. We are teleporting onto the A tower, and we are supporting our Deadlock, Phoenix, and Mix. I don't know why you're waiting here with the teleport. You literally have all of the info that you need. 2 smokes on the A site. Neon ultimate activated. Neon not even close. You don't need comps from your teammates to make this decision. You just look at the minimap. Rose! Well stream. Best foot Navo! Well stream, bro. So already at this moment of time, you should have been around your Deadlock or Mix, being ready to kill the enemies that are pushing A site.
Target spotted A.
Watch them run.
This is a pretty dangerous teleport, because you could have seen on the minimap that Mix on tower is smoked off, and that your teammates don't have the ropes control. When you're using these teleports for fast rotations, you always want to use them like in a safe spot where you can actually commit to the teleport and then play with your teammates. I will not teleport on the bomb site because I don't know when Phoenix is gonna die. I don't know how much space enemies are gonna take, you know, while the teleport is being activated, so it might be a bit of a waste.
Watch them run. Stealing sight.
Spike down A.
This, you know, these are the type of solo plays that you do that don't make sense. Why would you do this? Brother, your Phoenix is fighting for his life. Your Phoenix is in a war. Enemies might be coming out of the aiming area of the map at any moment of time with this Sova drone. Maybe, I don't know. Like, we have the job is done. Phoenix did your job. He got 2 kills. We are in a true numbers advantage, 5v3. Relax. Chill. Now all we have to do is play a perfect trading game with our teammates. Because if you die in a fight like this,
Stealing sight.
Spike down.
and now you're just spectating your teammates playing a 4v3, your teammates lose this round. You cannot complain. Like, you cannot be like, oh, how did my teammates lose this 4v3, 4v1, 3v1? My teammates are so... Yes, your teammates are bad. Like, every single match of Valorant, you should play with the pre-assumption that your teammates are bad. Because you don't know them. You're not playing with tens. With Aspas. You're playing with some bad Asian girl, like, I don't know what was the name of the stage. So, you cannot make this type of undisciplined plays unless it's a 100% certain kill that you can take.
Down A.
And even here, relax. You don't need to be the first contact. Now, wait for the Phoenix to get some contact in this same area of the map. Like, one enemy could have easily been here, here, behind this cover. You know, jump spot some of these angles, get the info, and then play some crossfire setup with your teammates.
Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
You said if I don't hit the second highest rank in 400 hours, the game is not for me, and no one hits Immortal in 400 hours. I don't know, I hit Radiant in 50 hours. So I kind of instantly knew that Valorant is for me. Depends, you know, like, depends how much playtime you have in other video games, you know? But on average, I would say that, like, if you're able to hit Immortal in less than 500 hours, you're definitely above average. The muzzle, I'm good, man. How are you? Okay, 2 times in a row enemies went A. Once again, rule of 3 executes. By the way, all of these rules that I'm mentioning, they're never gonna work 100% of time. But if something works 60 to 80% of time, it's better rather than doing a 50-50 gamble. Once again, I don't know why you're starting in arcade when you have Sage in arcade now. Let the Sage wall off arcade, and let's, you know, get the info in B-main then. I mean, if this Sage was some other agent, like maybe Phoenix, then playing with the Phoenix in arcade would be good. Nara, walks man. Any info about the race playbook? It's gonna be completed during April, 100%. And I'm probably gonna skip the Yoru playbook for now. Because Yoru is... I don't know, man. This angle, you can never hold this wide. It's way too dangerous. Like, there's only 2 ways of holding this angle. You can hold this angle as tight as your reaction time allows you by placing your crosshair closer to the furthest peak and just holding it like this. Or you can hold it by going in and out. But this wide, like this, is gonna be interesting. Okay, now fast rotation. Now listen. Lurking and flanking behind the enemies is only good when you can trust that your teammates are gonna stay long enough while you're going for that lurk and flank. Or if you don't have any teammates on that bomb site at that moment of time or in that area, and there's no one to die. But right now, you know, as soon as you saw this Reyna Lear on the minimap, bam, in the aiming area of the map. Knife in the hands, rotation through the CT. And we cannot push behind the enemies in arcade, because that was not our initial strategy, we were way too late. And, you know, by the time that you go into dish, your teammates can already be dead. In these situations, you always rotate fast through the spawn and just connect with your teammates ASAP. And also, I really don't understand why we're not conditioning and pressuring enemies with any smokes anywhere if you have a double controller setup.
Sensor tripped. Target spotted A.
Like, already at around this moment of time, you should be either A tower or in the CT with the deadlock. Not to mention that dish is walled off. What rank is this, Omen? Silver 3 goldish, like silver 3 gold 1. Do I just force play Raze on Breeze or try learn a different agent just for Breeze? What rank? In which rank do you play?
Run!
You know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, let me explain something. So, why did I say that this push to the Omen was good by you in one of the rounds? It was good because you literally had nobody on the B site. Enemies took the B site control already. They flanked you. They did a fake through this. And we knew that enemies are, already have a full B control. And you had 3 or 4 teammates in the spawn. So, by the time that you do this, you're probably gonna connect your flank together with your teammates in the CT, and we can fight together. But here, you know, like, you started tower passively in the arcade. You saw the Reyna Lear at 125, 130, something like that. You don't have time to do this. You just need to hold the knife in the hands, do this rotation, and pray to God by that time that your teammates are not gonna die. Pick Diamond 3 in 600 hours. Am I a zoo animal? It's okay. It's fine. You know? Generally speaking, as long as you can reach, you know, Ascendant and Immortal in less than 1,000 hours, like, that's okay. You know, that's... You're not, you know, some super talent. You're not super bad. You're okay. You know, that's fine. But needing more than 1,000 hours to reach at least Immortal 1, but rather, you need to do something different. I mean, I'm not saying the game is not for you, but you need to do something. You need to do something different. Because Valorant is not that much of a complicated game. You know? Like, there are some very easy fundamentals, very easy strategies and setups that you need to learn. Once you learn that, like, it's GG.
Shadows traveling. Cover going.
Okay. I don't know if I would go for this aggressive smoke on top of the enemies. You know, usually that type of setup you want to use in eco rounds when you're retaking a site, and in the rounds where you have a huge numbers disadvantage. I mean, and if you don't have a paranoia. But here, since, you know, you have a paranoia, we already have a smoke for Omen. You can literally drop a paranoia like this, teleport above the enemies. That was a sick teleport. Teleport above the enemies. That paranoia is gonna hit this guy. You teleport in the far left corner. He doesn't see you. You clear this angle. You clear the stairs. From this position, you can clear under. And then the only angle we need to clear is this spot and this spot.
Enemy spotted. A.
That. Ooh, you're not even going for an aggressive play. Shit. You should have went for an aggro play here. I mean, like, you know, that's one of the best plays you have with Omen on Fracture, especially when you have a paranoia, because there's no one to kill you if you smoke the aim in. Like, you paranoid the enemies at the back side, on top of the site, on the stairs as well. Enemies are completely fucked. Try to TP into the corner. I don't know why I'm missing the teleport. I'm just stupid and dumb, and I didn't play Fracture for a long time. Check this angle. Check this angle. Check this position. Check this position. Round is over.
One enemy remaining.
What's another death?
You just can't start this passively on the B side. We talked about it. Was the best smoker for Fracture? Objectively, Brimstone still. Definitely. But, you know, in terms of rank solo, I would still play Omen. I would always put Omen above Brimstone.
Wall raised.
And also, I don't know, why are you holding such a boring angle? You know? You're already, like, listen. So, one of the reasons why I would do this type of a play, you know, jump spotting enemies in B-main, is if I already get the info there, and I want to play some kind of a different angle that I didn't play previously, I can just TP up here, and you can hold this position in like 3 different ways. You can hide from the enemies and surprise them on timing. We can also hold an angle like this, and you can also like hold a further angle on the right side.
Cover going out.
Whenever you're using your teleport to reposition, if you can get something more out of it, always get that something more. In this example, like on Fracture, you have so many elevated positions, it's insanity. Like if you're TPing out of here, TP on the generator, I mean, a free off angle for you to fuck up the enemies. TP up here, a free off angle to fuck up the enemies, because why not?
Enemy spotted B.
Shadows traveling.
Reloading.
Teaming up.
What did you do here?
Motherfucker.
Why? Listen, you cannot be baiting your team as this much. Okay, you're not baiting them, but you're not helping them out, and that's the problem, brother. If your if your Sage is staring into the Reyna's third eye, we need to take this fight for the Sage. Anyways, you have the cover on the left side from this box. It's not a good cover, but it's still some cover where we can still take this type of a fight with a Sage. And then we can play passively and reposition and do whatever the hell you want to do next. I have no idea how did your Sage even survive that.
Enemy spotted B.
Shadows traveling.
Reloading.
Good smoke there.
Teaming up.
We know that Reyna is tower.
Smoke's up.
Your map, like, awareness is this. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, for a silver like 3 player, this looks really good. Like, a lot of the stuff looks really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously, I would expect that your awareness is not really that good. So maybe I can actually give you some more advanced trainings as well, to be honest. And I'm gonna do that like after this VOD review.
Here.
Over there.
Are these the first comms that we heard in this match? Plaja, thank you for the tier 1 sub. How to get a Playbook as a Twitch subscriber? Join my Discord server. Connect your Twitch account with your Discord account in the Discord settings, and you will get the access to the Playbook and special channels. Arena is in the smoke.
One enemy remaining.
You know, objectively plays okay, plays good, but the thing is, like, why would you do it alone? You know, like these type of instances in your game is one of the reasons why maybe you have a bit of a lower win rate. Like, because of these type of risks that you're taking when you don't need to take them. And this as well. Brother, you killed the... Who cares where is this gecko? As far as I'm concerned, this gecko can be on built to my planet, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, go into the generator, hold the B set passively, and let's see where the gecko is gonna end up. And let's close out this round like a normal human beings. 4 versus 1. Like, we sell the arcade, sell the beam, and sell the sight. Hold this angle, this cross for the information, and that's it. That's your job right now. Hello, Mr. Gecko.
Here.
Spike planted.
Okay. Once again, they have a Gecko's ultimate. Most likely, they're gonna go A site, and once again, like, we should be fighting for the aim area of the map, for an example.
It begins.
I mean, especially with Omen, like, fighting for Amen is, like, literally the easiest thing you can do in your life. Phoenix, can you please play here? I'm gonna... Or whoever. Like, I'm gonna give you this smoke. If enemies are coming in, I'm just gonna use a paranoia. You peek them, kill them, then you can... Phoenix can use a flash, we can peek together. Like, brother, we have such a good team comp to fight for that part of the map. Doing a 5-man push through this, it's a suicide. It's impossible. Like, that should not be possible. Don't need to do that. We talked about it.
Someone
Shadows traveling.
going up. Smoke's transmitting.
Holy shit. This peak was really dangerous. Like,
Going up. Smoke's transmitting.
here. Before you go for this peak. When the mix died, you should have used the smoke first to separate the enemies apart. And then, when the enemies are, you know, in an open area of the map, drop a paranoia, take 3 picks, and then reset yourself somewhere else. What, you know, what would you swing into 4 enemies? And not even 10s can kill 4 enemies, 4 silver enemies staring at him. Like, there's some level of expectations that you need to have. Funny enough, the timing of the enemy Omen smoke was interesting. I don't know, like, you overcomplicated, like, this round way too much. Like, so, first of all, we should be fighting for aim and area of the map. Especially if your Phoenix is already not afraid to fight for that area of the map. You know, fuck the dish. You know, like, okay, sometimes you should be fighting enemies on dish if you see that you can get some free picks and free kills, obviously. But considering enemies have a Gecko's ultimate, considering they mainly focused aim and control when they were going A, smoke, paranoia, Phoenix flashes, Phoenix Molotov, lockdown this area of the map. Okay, you came here. Mix died. Don't swing the enemies if you're not instantly ready for a refrag. Like, one of the worst things people do in ranked solo queue is, like, your teammate died like 2 seconds ago, and after 2 seconds you go for a refrag. That's not a refrag. Like, if 2 seconds passed after your teammate died, that's not a refrag anymore, that's just you fighting a solo fight at that point. Refrag is when you swing and when you fight at the same moment of time together with your teammates. So, here, you lost the timing for that, no problem. We don't need to force it. Do a smoke here, fuck up the enemies with a paranoia, get 1 kill. Then maybe teleport up here, from this off angle, try to get 1 more kill, reset yourself.
Going up.
Also, this paranoia play from the tower. You're asking too much from yourself. Like, you know, this paranoia, only God knows if it's gonna hit anyone. Like, the best thing you could have been doing right now is maybe holding the ropes, waiting for this smoke to expire, and saving this paranoia to support your teammates in the CT if they're getting pressure by the enemies here. Or for some better days. Oh, they win this round. They lost. Also, one more tip. On Fracture, Operator is also really good. You can pick aim and get a free kill. Pick beam and get a free kill. Hold dish get a free pick, hold arcade, get a free pick. So, if you already have money for the op and judge, for an example, or you can get the op and your teammates can drop you a vandal, you can also do that. Especially, you know, if it is the last round of the match, and when you're playing Omen and you can get on so many different elevated spots and off angles.
Barrier created.
When you're requesting weapons from your teammates, don't just press this button, you know? You're playing in silver and gold. These players don't know which video game they're playing. Let alone that they're observing you, you know, sound cues and stuff like that. Mix, can you please get me operator? Mix, can you drop me operator? One more time. Mix, can you drop? Usually, you know, in Valorant Ranked, you need to repeat your comms at least 3 times before your teammates actually recognize it.
Barrier created.
Once again, this cannot be your starting position. No reason to aggress right now. Phoenix got a kill. We have a full dish control. We can relax and play a bit passively. Okay, now you got a dart, which means that enemies are probably going A, and that was their initial plan.
Resonating.
Over there.
Please, whenever you're pushing arcade, always first check the underpass and then go into this smoke. So basically, like, you know, if there's a mixed smoke here, check the underpass and then let's push through the smoke. And then, you know, Phoenix already cleared this whole area of the map, so we can just run.
Scatter.
Someone's A.
Cover going out.
Monster on the loose! Spike planted.
Reload him.
Shadows traveling.
As already mentioned, like, this type of play usually you want to do when you don't have a paranoia for this type of play. And in some eco halberd rounds, you know, with the shotgun stingers and stuff like that. But if you already have a paranoia and, you know, smoke for this, and enemies are not in sense, or sense is closed, I mean, you smoked it off, you can just complicate it a bit less, you know, like, just paranoia, TP there. And also, you're never teleporting instead of this smoke. So if you drop this type of smoke, you're always teleporting on this edge, right here. Because we need to pre-assume that maybe one enemy is gonna play on the stairs, or potentially inside of the smoke. It's way too dangerous.
No strike. Target spotted A.
Watch your eyes.
One enemy remaining.
Stay in sight.
Okay. How many kills on defense? 12. Fuck. Bro, I'm really good with these predictions, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's always close. 12 or below. Okay. Do they win the first round on attack?
Nothing there.
I'm a chronic orbaholic. Orbaholic, huh? Okay. Okay, now let's move on to the attacker side. So, on the attacker side of Fracture, basically your default side, number 1 priority is B site. Number 2 priority is A site. Generally speaking, on this map, what you mainly want to focus on, and what are your main areas of the map, are like B arcade and A main. You know, controlling these two areas of the maps is very important when you're doing the B set and A set executes. And a lot of the players make a mistake where they look at the B main as a actual main entrance into the B side, because it's not. It's literally a very narrow choke point where you're entering the site fully exposed from multiple different angles, and pushing the B side successfully without a arcade control is kind of stupid. So generally speaking, like you should be allocating more players and you should be more focused on arcade control rather than on the B main control. Early on in the match, and generally what's the best strategy on a Fracture is 3 times in a row doing some form of a 4-man or 5-man push through arcade onto the B side. So basically, you send one player to lurk through the B main and to get the timing there, while 4 of you guys are fighting for the B tower, arcade, and B side control through the arcade, obviously. So in the first round, generally you should call for a 5-man push onto B side, take the spike, and tell one of your teammates to lurk through the B main area of the map. Do you think Yoru is gonna get unfucked in backlight chamber? So what I think is gonna happen is that Phoenix is gonna have 1 flash, Jet is gonna have 1 smoke, Neon Slide is gonna be nerfed, and Valet dash or reflect ability is gonna be nerfed. Like that's what. And Omen is gonna have 1 teleport in the next 3 to 4 years. 1 teleport, 1 teleport. 100%. 1,000,000%.
My ultimate is ready.
30
Okay.
seconds left.
So, you take the spike. Hey guys, can we please push Arcade together? You can go with a classic light shield, 2 smokes and 2 shrouded steps. You can go for a ghost and 2 smokes and 1 shrouded step. It's really up to you. We push the arcade. We expect the enemy's peek here. Jump spot the enemies here. We're smoking the canteen first, like this. And then you're smoking the generator here, like this. You're teleporting inside of this smoke, inside of this cover. You're clearing the smoke. And then from this position, you're engaging the enemies and taking the bombs in control with your teammates. Then, you're immediately focusing on taking the tower control, doing a Formula 1 circle, checking all of this, planting the spike, and that's it.
You guys go slow and I'll make some noise and then push over there.
That's a really dumb idea by our Sage. Like, Sage is not the playmaker. Sage is just a lurking asset to ensure that none of the enemies can be in the B main area of the map or in the underpass. If your teammate gives you this type of a call, tell the Sage to play passively, to shift up and play slowly.
I will be their nightmare.
I have the spike.
The problem with this type of a play that your Sage did is, you know, now we alerted the enemies that we are pushing B. And already the enemies can start pushing this, pushing aim in area of the map and rotating and... I don't know.
Someone's B. Reload him.
No escape.
It's much better if we push the arcade on the contact, and then once we reach this angle, right here, we jump spot it, and then we explode onto the bomb site.
Shadows traveling. Our carrier is dead.
You see what happened?
Spike
Spike down B.
So that idea from your Sage was diabolical.
Last player standing.
Okay.
Carrier is dead.
Spike down B.
I don't really understand what was this teleport, and I'm not even gonna ask. The thing about like a Pulsar X2H Crazy Light mini is good for... I didn't try it, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Combat is a means to an
Now, even if you lose this second round, this first round, in the second round, you should go B again, through the arcade. And you should try shoving up the shorty into the enemy's ass on the tower. Basically, the setup that you should do is you buy a shorty, 2 smokes, 2 shorter steps, jumps by this angle, and on the tower, you're placing a smoke that looks like this. So towards the enemies on the left side. You're teleporting on this corner, right here, entering the smoke, and then engaging enemies with a shorty on tower. You know, you can jump onto them and try to get a free pick.
end. And we are the means. We are the means.
Why are you forcing in this round? You lost the first round, second round is an eco round. In this round, if you want to buy something, shorty is fine. With 1 shrouded step and smokes, you can get a bandit without any utility and try to go for some 1-taps, but why are we force buying in this round? Especially because our teammates are eco. Once again, you should pick up the spike and tell your teammates, hey guys, let's do the same play, but this time, Sage, can you play slowly on contact? In ranked solo queue, I'm never gonna ask you to be IGL, and neither should you. So, but in the first 4 rounds, you should at least try leading your teammates based on what makes more sense in ranked solo queue, and based on the stats. So that's it. Try to persuade them, get a spike, try to condition them. I don't know, offer them a blowjob or something. I don't know. It's up to you what you want to do. The only type of players that you truly need to control is your controllers. You know, good and bad smokes can cost you a lot, but since you're playing a controller, we don't need to worry about that.
This one's for the fam back home.
Oh, we lost the first round. First round, L. L, bro. Prediction. How many kills at the end? 21 or above, 20 or below. If you already wanted to full buy in this round, it would be better if you got a bandit. Fuck the ghost, man. Like, who buys a ghost in a round where enemies have a heavy shield? And it's okay that you're going through this arcade area of the map, but I don't know what you did at the start.
Enemy spotted B.
Cover going out.
Well, Clove no peek, we'll see, man.
For you.
Shadows traveling.
That was some insanity timing, bro.
Spike down B.
I have the spike.
Neon playing with the outlaw.
Last player standing.
Okay. Okay, at least in these first 2 rounds, you have a lot of info about the enemies. They like to fight for the arcade quite aggressively. There's also always 2 enemies defending arcade. Reyna likes to push dish alone and plays dish alone almost always. Neon is defending the Amen area of the map, and that's a lot of good information. And also, they're not fighting for the Amen area of the map because otherwise they will not only have Neon that is playing passively on that angle. So in this third round, once again, we can try to do the same strategy, but we can also do a 5-man push onto the A sub, which is something generally that you want to do on Fracture. Like basically, whenever enemies on the defender side are eco halberd bonus, 5-man push through the A main with this type of a smoke setup is probably the best idea that you can do. Plus, we have a mix to smoke the tower as well, so very nice.
Through the calm.
I don't know why you forced in that round. I mean, like, you need to follow up, you know, these general economy rules a bit more, and follow up your teammates' economy as well.
Through the storm, I fight.
Brother, you're using shrouded. Okay, so when do you use your shrouded steps to reveal the enemies? When you're using them through the smokes and around the smokes. Like, that is the only time when you use the shrouded steps as a recon tool. If you can jump spot this angle, jump spot it.
Sorry, as I'm said.
Cover going out.
I mean, listen. If your teammates are fighting the enemies and they want to play aggressively, follow up your most aggressive teammates, play with them, refrag them. Right now, you should not be searching for an angle where you should teleport. You should be moving your ass towards the sage, being ready to refrag her.
Shadows traveling.
Relax a bit. First of all, enemies are playing a bonus round. They don't have that good of a weapons. You don't need the sand control in this round. It's fine. We can still push through the Amen, especially because, what? We have a Sage in the team that can wall for us. And we have still like 2-3 smokes because Mix didn't smoke anything. Like, especially in these rounds, you should not be playing alone. Then, we are 4 versus 4. What's the problem? Like, you know that Neon is the only player on the bomb site. We know that Omen is on the tower. And we just don't know where's one more enemy on the A site. Like, he could have been on the site with a Neon, but it doesn't matter. Because they have shit weapons. So, if your Sage is already here, in a 4v4, you have no business in the sands area of the map. You're not forced to make any outplay, any aggressive play, anything. Your only job is to follow this motherfucker and to be able to play with him, refrag him, and take the bomb site control with him. We smoke the dish, CT and sands. Bam, bam, bam. We tell at least our Mix to do that. And we go in.
Shadows traveling.
It is a completely unnecessary solo play from your side.
After my
Yeah, this might be good. This might be good in this round. Because we know that one enemy likes to push aggressively the dish area of the map. But what we can maybe do in this round, instead of peeking that enemy, because they can still play marshals in this round, outlaws, I don't know which weapons they're gonna have, because we're playing eco again, we can maybe just wait to see if that Reyna is gonna push again. We can maybe create some kind of a proxy, you know, crossfire setup here. Like, Phoenix plays here, you play here, and let's just wait for the Reyna. You know? Let's see if anyone is gonna pick up that orb, what's gonna happen. Or let's just wait, you know, let's create some setup here and just wait for the Reyna. It's fine. Like, I'm 90% certain that someone is gonna push this area of the map because of enemy's tendencies from the previous rounds. And this is a really good play It's really good that we are fighting here right now because we can easily punish that enemy because he's way too repetitive. But peeking this is a bit of a Sudoku. Especially if they can have the outlaw or something like that. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Enemy spotted.
Cover going out.
That smoke there is absolutely pointless. Listen, you do your smokes based on how much space your teammates have taken. Are they ready for an execute? And are you ready to go out? You cannot deploy this smoke if your teammates are still sitting in the aiming area of the map and they're nowhere near close this position and this position. It's just a waste of a smoke. Chill. We got a kill. We're 4v4 in this half by eco round. I don't know what we're playing anymore. You can just relax, hold the dish from behind, wait to see what, you know, when your teammates are going to be ready to scale out. Now, there's really nothing to think about. We should just reconnect with our teammates and push A. But since you heard one enemy pushing behind you, we can just deal with that guy as well.
Spike down A.
I don't really understand what is that smoke for. You just helped enemies more than yourself.
My ultimate is ready.
One enemy remaining.
Like literally, in this example, you should just smoke CT and try to kill this Neon together with your Sage, whilst also expecting the Sova to be somewhere in this area. And also on Fracture, you should always be ready for the enemy's lurks, flanks, because this is really the map where players like to push quite a lot. Like whenever your execute takes too much time, you should always be checking your ass occasionally and being ready for a play like that.
Planted. My ultimate is ready. Reloading.
Reloading! Be ready for this peak always.
I'm pissed.
Enemy spotted B.
Angle clearing is not really your thing. That is something that you really struggle with on the attacker side. Like you're kinda... I don't know... How do you know that one enemy is not holding you here, from this box here, from this box... Like, look at this now. Look how you engage enemies here. You didn't clear a single one of these 4 angles properly. No, not even close. With the crosshair placement and movement. Brother, relax. Especially when you need to go in first. You know, if you're just running, we can just jump spot everything and be done with it. You know, we can jump spot this, second jump spot and move on with your life, essentially. If you need to clear angles slowly, jiggle in, jiggle out, check this spot, check this angle, now check the tower, check this part of the tower, check this spot, check an deep angle here, maybe an enemy is playing there, I don't know, like maybe Chamber, Jet, Neon that is mentally brain dead, like, I don't know.
Shadows traveling.
This TP you should never do, it's way too dangerous if you don't know if someone is on the tower. Don't do this shit. Like, the only way to teleport into tower without any info is by deploying this smoke and then teleporting on the side right here. And then from this position, you're entering the smoke sideways and clearing, you know, tower and all of these angles.
No more. Cover going out. Carrier is dead.
Spike down B.
Watch them run.
Last player.
Okay, listen. So, in these 2v2s, you should always, but always try to play with that remaining teammate. Like here, we don't really care where this Omen and Reyna are gonna end up. As long as we fight together, we have higher chances of winning this round together. If you already thought that this Omen is maybe gonna flank you, that this Omen is maybe gonna push the ropes and try to go behind you, just hold this angle and wait for him. Like, on this position, his head pops off, up, kill that guy, now play with the Phoenix. Why are you even searching for this Omen this aggressively? We have the full bomb stack control, we can easily plant the spike, we can then easily clear the tower together with the Phoenix and play a normal post plant.
Standing.
You still have Paranoia, Shrouded Steps. No reason to die there.
Cover going out.
What the absolute fuck is this smoke in the generator? You need to be a bit more scared for your life when you're engaging enemies on the attacker side. Like, now I see why you have on defense like 1.2 KD and on attack 1 KD. Like, how do you know that someone is not here? Here. You're not ready for any of these fights. Plus, the gun is not even in your hands. Now we need to clear the tower.
Shadows traveling.
We need to clear the tower. Nobody cleared the tower. We still didn't clear the tower at all.
Stealing sight.
Enemy spotted B. Reloading.
Rest. Stealing sight.
Enemy spotted B. Reloading.
The guy just popped through the canteen, man, like.
Rest.
Last player standing.
3 kills.
One enemy remaining.
This is the moment of time where using the fake Shrouded Steps is also really fucking good. Now you can use Shrouded Steps behind this box, make this Neon thing that you teleported into B main, and then engage her from the right side. Like, I love that you're trying at least, you know, to implement that mechanic, but you're not applying it at the right moment of time. You know, here it will be perfect to make the Neon thing that we went there, and then you just peek from this angle and take a free pick. Whenever you're engaging enemies, especially with a shorty, you always want to try to figure out the most efficient and the shortest route where you can actually close the proper gap with that enemy. Like, okay, pulling out the shorty here is okay, but a bit unnecessary. Because what we also could have done here, you could have done an improvised one-way smoke, drop it up, peek out, take a free pick, move on with your life. But you want to engage this guy with a shorty, you need to go jumping onto him. You cannot be... Like, the main mistake players make with the shotguns when they're engaging the enemies is like, they jump sideways, like this. On this range with a shorty, if an enemy is full HP, only God knows if these 2 shots are gonna be enough to kill that Neon. But if you jump towards that motherfucker, probably even 1 shot might be enough.
The hunt begins.
It would sorry, my apologies. It would be really nice if we can persuade our teammates to consider pushing through arcade a bit more, but also in these type of matches, where you notice that your teammates are struggling in an area of the map. Help them out. Especially if the enemies are always aggressive. I mean, already, like, what, 2 or 3 rounds, our teammates are dying in the B main, and the enemies are pushing us, they're aggressing us. Help them out. Yes, arcade should be one of your main priorities, but, you know, it cannot be your priority if you're gonna end up, like, in a 2v5, 1v5, or something like that. I figure you can do bikini bottom dance on TikTok to increase your portfolio there. Let me tell you something. Whenever you're giving comms and callouts in ranked solo queue, it really doesn't matter who gave the callout, whether it is you or your teammates. The first 3 seconds after you make a callout, you spend by looking on the minimap, and you're waiting to see if your teammates are going to listen to that callout. During that moment of time, you're still doing and replicating whatever your teammates are doing at that moment of time. So, here, yes, idea to go A is probably okay. Fine. But if my teammates are still sitting in the B main, doing nothing, I'm slowly moving towards the arcade with my Phoenix, and I'm committing to that stupid play they want to do, whichever play it is. Because there's no point in you right now ending up on the A side if 3 of your teammates are going to die in B main for nothing. And they are not going to listen to the callout. Also, another problem in ranked solo queue, when you're giving callouts, you need to be a bit more commanding, a bit more loud, and usually you need to repeat it like 3 times. Like 3rd time is the charm in ranked solo queue. Because these players are, you know, usually very tunnel visioned, autopiloting, they don't know, you know, which video game they're playing. So you cannot be like, hey guys, let's go A. Let's go. Hey guys, let's go A. Like, we just fucking rotate. Okay, don't swear. Like, that's gonna make them angry, but yeah. And if they're not listening to you, fuck it. Anyways, we're a 5 versus 3 right now. It really doesn't matter where we end up. We can push B, we can push A. As long as we fight together, we win this round together. Here, I don't really understand. Where did you want to teleport? Because, first of all, you have 0 info if anyone is on the A site, so we cannot do any blind teleports. We don't know if all of the enemies rotated, or if the enemies even considered rotating. And second of all, we need to wait for our teammates to listen to our callout. But once again, this is really stupid what you're doing right now. 3 seconds on the minimap. Aha, my teammates are not listening to my callout. Fuck it, I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna try to make something out of it.
Come on, let's...
Once again, in this round, I will probably play with my allies. And in the B main area of the map, because they struggle there a lot. Enemies are consistently pushing them there, so it makes no sense for me to, you know, risk losing 3 of my teammates there. Clearing angles. Generally movement on the attacker side, pathing, angle clearing, crosshair placement, like, you struggle with that a lot. We need to focus on that training.
Look sharp.
I just don't, like, you're playing on the attacker side like you're cheating. Like, that's how you're playing. Like, you know, like you have a wall hex, essentially. How do you know that the enemy Reyna in this round is not here? Not here. Like, she played the dish almost every round. You cannot do this. Drive around the angle. And get instantly deleted by that Reyna. We need to anticipate that Reyna can be here. That Reyna can be on some off angle here. Okay, I cleared those angles. Now I can place my crosshair there. Now, I need to check this position, these upper positions, this corner, and now I can, move forward.
One more. Be flanking so.
Scatter.
And you're not even ready for that fight. Like, you get up here, like, your crosshair is already inside of the wall, pre-aiming this position, and you're moving left and right to check the tower and check the sands. It's kind of interesting, like, how well he plays on the defender side compared to the attack.
I need this.
Listen, Bulldog, you only buy in the force by rounds, anti-eco rounds, when you really don't have money for Phantom and Mendel, with a heavy shield or light shield. Here, how many credits we have? We have, just a second.
New agent.
3,450. Bendel light shield, Phantom light shield. Or, for an example, since our Gecko has stored all of the treasuries from Switzerland, maybe he can drop a Bendel or Phantom to us. Maybe. Because it's still a team play game, like, we need to win the rounds together and all of that stuff. This peak is crazy. Especially crazy on agents without the TP abilities, and especially crazy when you have the Bulldog. Just, generally speaking, whenever you're pushing somewhere fast with your teammates, most of the times you just want to run in front of them, jump spot the angles for them, bait out the enemy shots, get the info for your crosshair placement, and we can just easily delete the enemies, clear the angles together, jump spot this. Now I know the enemy is up there or whatever the fuck. I can scale through this area of the map. I can check all of these angles properly and then move in.
Monster on the loose!
On attack, you really struggle also with better positioning compared to what your teammates are doing at that moment of time and where they are positioned. Why are you running away from this fight? Like, your Phoenix is in the middle of nowhere. Like, right now, I will not be running away. I'll be getting onto this position so that as soon as the enemies pick that Phoenix, if Gecko flashes that Phoenix, I can swing out, take a refrag.
Hey, get healing.
Focus on the attacker's side, like on just better overall team play. Like, focus more on what your teammates want to do and what they're doing rather than what you want to do. Try to use them a bit better. Here, for an example, like, your Phoenix is running it down. He wants to go sands. Let's do a tower smoke. Let's do a CT smoke. Let's take the sands control, if you want to do that. I mean, in ranked solo queue, when you have these type of teammates, it's better than having passive idiots. Like, I would rather have bad aggressive teammates than bad passive teammates. Okay. You want to run it down? Amazing. Great. Now I can just follow him up, trade him, and use him as a Sova drone that can also shoot. Maybe. And some of these teleports that you're doing really don't make any sense. Like, you really need to chill down a bit. If you cannot use a teleport for some good repositioning or some outplay, you don't need to use it. Like here, for example. You're 2 meters away to go behind this box. Get behind the box, you know? You can do it by walking. Wait for the Reyna to be here. Now you can paranoid the Reyna. TP up here. Fuck her up.
Silence.
But it would have been much better in this round if you were fighting up front with a Phoenix and your teammates and occasionally checking your ass for a potential flank and lurk. Here as well. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're 5v3. Relax. We don't need the sense. We don't need aim. We don't need nothing. Let's just take side control, plant the spike, and we can play the most passive post plant ever. We keep the aim in control. We leave some of our teammates on the bomb site, and the round is over.
Target spotted.
Last.
Because if you die, your teammates can easily lose 4v3. If your teammates die, then you're playing 1 versus 3.
Spike down A.
Target spotted.
Last player standing.
Go on, come in. See ya tournament. You want to engage the enemies in the dish area of the map. Let's focus on having, cutting the angles instead of driving around them. Let's place our crosshair in the wall and instantly be ready for a fight like this. One thing that you're doing really good in this dish area of the map is that you're always scaling towards the left side. So you're taking this cover and you're always ready to surprise the enemies, even if they get in a fight with your teammates and even if they kill your teammates, which is good.
Got here.
Now really try to avoid on fracture standing in this position and this position for way too long time if you don't have info in both arcade and dish. If you already want to use the ultimate somewhere, take this cover and then use the ultimate. Only God knows if one enemy is pushing arcade right now, you don't want to be in this spot.
Watch them run.
Hello, Mr. Sova.
Ultimate ready. I'm down.
Also, I don't know what was that ultimate for, to be honest. This is an absolute waste of the ultimate. Literally, we cannot commit to the teleport on tower because we have 0 control on the B site. We have no idea what's happening there. Enemies might as well be on tower. Our teammates are playing super passively in the beam and area of the map. Our Phoenix is taking the dish control. Instead of using this ultimate, let's try to support our Phoenix. Let's see if we can maybe get one more pick on the A site before we decide what should we do next. Or let's wait to see if our teammates are maybe going to take some space on B, and then we can connect with them with a teleport. Like we can maybe teleport in the middle of the bomb site, right here, as they're going for an execute, commit to the teleport, and then support them as they're taking the space.
Down B.
Cover going up.
Another problem that you're suffering from on the attacker side, you're using your smokes in a really dangerous areas of the map. Like, a lot of the times when you're using your smokes, you're fully overexposed from at least 1, 2, or even 3 angles from which enemies can kill you. Okay, you want to use the smoke for the CT. Duck down, take the cover here, and then use a smoke. Don't be in the middle of nowhere, waiting for the enemies to peek you from the site, from under, from the sand, and kill you.
Shadows.
Like this, for an example. Also, generally, in ranked solo queue, you should be trying to control your teammates a bit more, especially when you figure out where the enemies are weak. Like in this fracture game, we notice that one thing that kind of works for us is what? The 5-man executes on the A set through aiming near the map. So if that is the secret sauce that we found out in the previous rounds, we don't need to complicate it too much. Let's fight for the aim-in. Let's try to fuck up the enemies there. And let's try to, you know, close out this match in a simple way. Also, if your teammates are not listening to you, usually in this type of rounds, you know, especially when you make a kill, you really want to reconnect with your spike carrier. Because if your spike dies, if, you know, the rest of your team dies, you're not going to have a fun time playing alone. What is the color of your undies today? White.
Forward.
Their backs.
Here as well, you should be buying a Vandal with a light shield, because we are playing a double controller setup and one smoke is more than enough from you. And once again, you should be playing with your teammates in the B main area of the map if they really want to go B main. Because if they die once again in B main, what's the fucking point?
Will be torn.
Also, when you're playing a double controller setups with Omen, usually you want to use your smokes in a bit more aggressive way. You know, for the aggressive place and for you to enter the site.
Them to their grave.
Spike down, attacker.
You deserve to die here. And once again, your teammates are dying in the B main. Like, how many rounds are you willing to lose before you make some kind of a call out? Any, like, you know, if you already lost, like, let's say 3 rounds by doing, or your team has lost 3 rounds, in a, you know, during a match, doing some kind of a play. How many rounds are you willing to lose before you tell them to do something different, or before you start playing with them, supporting them, and actually trading them and making them live a happy life? Because one of the most pointless deaths in Valorant are the deaths where you die in these main areas of the map. Like, there's absolutely no reason to have a single casualty in these areas of the map. We can clear angles like a normal human beings. We can use our utility to push enemies back. We can jump spot the enemies, get the info. So,
Spawn.
why are we allowing our teammates to die in the B main so many times? Okay, they don't want to listen to you. Well, no problem. Play with them. F to pay respect to our fallen brother. On our mind.
Last player standing.
And now you would be like, oh, my teammates are shit, like, how are they dying? They're dying because you're not there. They died so many times in the B-main that, you know, it doesn't make sense for you to do something alone. This round is a save. 29 HP, Vandal. We need to save this gun, and we need to pull this game into overtime. But no. Listen, like, I respect you trying to win a 1v3 with 29 HP at 11-11. I can definitely respect that. But, you know, at some point, these type of plays are just stupid. Like, one thing that Valorant players really suffer from is being short-sighted. You know, like, you want some instant results, instant this, instant that. Fight in a long run. We can still win this match. We can still fuck up the enemies. We can still go in the next round, farm and push on A with a Vandal and heavy shield and win the round for our team. You know? you have higher chances of winning this game in overtime rather than winning this round right now. And if you lose this gun, we're fucked. Okay, very good. He's not even trying. I just don't know why he saved the gun in the canteen out of all places.
Defense on this because Silva Reina played B on back.
Take the spike when you're commanding your teammates. You know? Usually when you take a spike, there's a bit higher chance that your teammates are gonna follow you up. Teammates not listening. No comprehendo. España only. India, no problem. I go back and I play with a mix and deadlock because I'm 90% certain that mix and deadlock are gonna die in the next 15 seconds. Oh, never mind. They listen in this round. Listen, when you're pushing through arcade. So, when do you deploy a smoke for the canteen? You deploy the canteen smoke when we clear all of these angles. So first, you fight here. Once we clear this, then from this position, you're doing some canteen smoke. Then, as we're fighting here, then you do a smoke for this, and then we're scaling onto the site. We can maybe pet under the tower, jump up here, clear the tower, clear this spot, jump spot the site, jump spot the site again, maybe teleport onto onto this angle to take one more angle for your teammates, and from this position, that's it. We can also go for an aggressive play. You know, we can place the canteen smoke like this, and freely teleport on this part of the smoke, clearing the canteen smoke, maybe even pushing the enemy, so I don't know, like you can try sometimes, maybe not in 11-12 for an example. But you cannot be using a smokes while we're clearing the basic main areas of the map. Like we're not even ready to go for an execute. And if you already want to smoke the tower, tower smoke should have been first. Your first smoke is always the smoke for the first angle that your teammates are clearing or engaging. The second smoke is for secondary angles. When you're doing some aggressive executes, when you want to use your own smoke for some kind of an outplay, only then the first smoke is the second smoke, the last smoke that you use.
Who's traveling?
Another and the final problem that I'm going to mention for you is when you're playing behind or inside the enemy smokes, you're always positioning in a way in which it is too easy for the enemies to spray you down and kill you. Like when you're playing around the smokes like this, this is a danger zone. This is a danger zone. Really dangerous. Playing here and here. In the center, you have slightly higher chances of dodging the enemy's random bullets, random spray, and surviving this push towards the smoke. Or being inside of the smoke. So you really want to avoid being in the positions that are highly probable to be spammed. And look at this now. Now you don't even have a canteen smoke. Why? Because you used it as soon as the round started. And this play that you're doing right now is just an absolute suicide. First of all, if you want to teleport from an enemy smoke somewhere, first you need to clear the smoke with a gun, and then you go for the teleport. In this situation, where we have no smoke for the canteen, no smoke for the generator, and we are smoked off here by the enemy Omen, the only thing that we can do is fight for the tower. We need the tower control first, in order to do anything in this round.
Spike down B.
So you should have focused first on taking the tower control, making sure that your teammates don't die, and then That was our smoke. What is this smoke, brother? Oh, it's our smoke. Listen, the only rounds where this smoke is actually good is when you're going for the retake. Okay, that's too low. When you're going for the retake, you put it as a trial in smoke so that enemies don't know if you're gonna go right, go in front, you know, go left. And when you're playing some eco rounds, halberd rounds, you know, you have really shit weapons like stingers, bucky, I don't know, shit like that. Then you can use some kind of a trial in smoke like this, so we can actually close the gap with the enemies and maybe surprise the enemies in the generator, take the CT control and risk it a bit more. But this smoke in a full buy round, just to protect your teammates from a fight. Don't do that.
Shadows traveling.
Spike down B.
Your duty is not over.
Last player standing.
I don't know what happened here. Like, I mean, you heard? You heard a guy being grab netted behind you, being pinned by the deadlock spin. Already here, you should have killed that guy in the canteen. But okay, like, I mean...
Spike down B.
And also, you're hearing a guy removing a pin in this position. Paranoid that guy. Fuck him up, kill him before he kills your teammates. Like, when you end up in these type of positions, it's better for you to make some kind of a play rather than not doing anything. You know? Like one of the worst mistakes you can make in Valorant is not making any decision at all. Just waiting to see how the things are gonna play out and waiting for your teammates to do something. Even if you make a mistake, you know, you take this fight, you die, okay. You at least did something from which you can learn, from which you can develop yourself. Even, you know, you make a mistake, you can learn. You made a good play, you can maybe replicate it in the future matches. But you're sitting here, waiting for your Sage to revive the deadlock in an open space, open area of the map, where the enemies can easily kill them, you know, from the canteen, from the back. If you pre-fire the Omen ult, does Omen still able to pick up the spike? Yes, yes, yes.
Standing.
Listen, as a final note that I'm gonna mention, I highly advise you to check my rank playbook for Omen, just so that you can see all of the good, like, smoke setups, aggressive executes, retakes that you were lacking during this match. I was not talking about that too much, because anyways, you're a sub on Discord and you have the playbook, so we don't need to waste our time on that shit. But literally, you have around, you know, 15, 16 different plays that you could have incorporated in this gameplay to be far more useful and to play a bit more aggressively with your teammates and to take space more efficiently. Now, when it comes to like, when it comes to the main agents topic, one thing that I would really like to see, because is you playing Jet for the next 2 months. Like, I just think that at this moment of time, if you want some short-term results, you know, if you want to get to Ascendant as soon as possible, I think that based on your decision-making, mechanical skill, and some of the other stuff, you can probably get to Ascendant pretty fast with a Jet. And the Jet can be some kind of a short-term solution for you. Omen can still stay, obviously, but I think just with a Jet, if you want to reach Ascendant as soon as possible, as your first step, pick Jet as a main agent, pick Omen as a flex, and pick Chamber as a fill. You know, like, Jet gets insta-locked, we have a controller, pick chamber, for an example, and try to do that for the next 2 months, and try to master all 3 of these agents. Now, everything else we're gonna discuss through private messages. I'm gonna share with you some private coaching videos that are gonna explain some of these topics far more in depth, and also I'm gonna give you the training that you're gonna be doing for the next 2 weeks, 2 months, yeah, 8 weeks basically. And when it comes to the YouTube, that's it for this VOD review. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. You know, join Discord server for coaching, all of that good stuff, free coaching giveaways, and all of the other. And I'll see you in the next one. Roll the closer. Bye bye.